Greetings everyone, welcome to this new video. We're gonna take a look at some budget option for our infernalist minion build. It doesn't need to be infernalist, and I'm also gonna lower my level to 85 and only use 3 ascendancy, so that would be 6 ascendancy point in total. To more simulate a more beginner friendly and everything. But most important, I'm only gonna use 1 divine in value of all the gear and everything that it comes with. So I'm gonna go here, so you can see here I have 2 divines. I don't know if I got lucky during the campaign or what. I think I'm in someone else's hideout here. Must have left the game when it was there. So I'm gonna take this divine, go to the currency exchange, and I want exalted, and I have a divine. See, 106, and we're gonna just do this. Why is it not letting me? Oh, I wish it was that much. There we go. I could have gotten more, but screw it. We're gonna take these, and hopefully we're gonna make the build work here. As you can see, I'm a little bit ahead of myself, and you can already see the gear here. But I'm gonna show you all the clips of when I bought the gear and everything, and how the stats come together and which stats are important for this build to make it work. And we're gonna do that right after I've showed you the time lapse of all the different gear upgrades and stuff like that I bought, and the jewels. And then we're gonna take a look at the skills and some trick to get the links for very free, or very cheap at least, because otherwise it can cost quite a lot to get a 5 link. And the 6 link we're not even gonna touch in this video, because that is multiple hundreds of exalted or a few divines. So without further ado, let's go for the buying. Okay, welcome back everyone. We're gonna take a look at the gear I just bought. So there's a few stats that are super important to focus on. There's not many, so it's quite easy for minion builds to get all of this, because we can only get the specific stats very sparingly on our gear. First thing first, we're gonna need to cap our resistances. 75 is the normal cap, but you can get some max resistance to bump that number up on different other places on the skill tree and your maybe ascendancy somewhere. But 75 is the normal cap. Chaos res is a luxury that you can go for if you want to, but it's not super needed. As if you have space on your gear, then you go for that. You can put in jewels also, or these runes on the gear. I had the luxury of having all my resistance capped already, so I didn't need to. Otherwise, you want to go for life and energy shield. You can see here from my chest piece, for example, it has 408 energy shield on it, and it has 176 life on it. I try to get for life on everything here. The reason I go for life on top of energy shield is because we're gonna reserve the life and get more spirit out of it. So through my ascendancy, I'm gonna reserve 25% life, and then get some more spirit. You can also get energy shield if you want to go the more defensive route, and that would be my 4th ascendancy. So I would reserve 50% in total of my life and get both spirit and energy shield out of it, and get more defenses out of that. But I don't think I needed more defenses because I have already over 4,000 energy shield, and that's plenty. Some stats are also important because skill gems takes a lot to be equipped, especially at the higher levels. So when you get up to 19 and 20 levels in your skill gems, they're gonna require so much extra stats that you want to go for a few stats. You get a lot of stats also on your skill tree or passive tree, so you can switch make a match on there to get to the exact numbers you need, which we're going to take a look at later. Otherwise, as you can see, it's very generic gear on most pieces here. It's basically as much energy shield as we can muster, some stats, and the pieces that are the most expensive, I would say, is the scepter, the helmet, and the amulet. The reason for that is we want level of all minion skills. Every plus level of minion skills is, according to the professionals, about 13% extra damage for your whole build. So that is really good. It goes higher in minion skill levels than these that I have on my pieces, but we are on a budget, remember, and we cannot afford a more expensive one. And it's so little upgrade for so much more currency. So otherwise, on a scepter, we want to have quality on it that gives us extra spirit, and also good to have is a rattling scepter. As you see here, it says rattling scepter at the top of it. It gives us skeleton warrior minions, some extra meat shield, and something for our pain offering to sacrifice. Increased damage is very good on the scepter. Otherwise, you can fill up whatever stats you want, whatever is the cheapest on the trade site. On our helmet, we can also get plus to minion skills. I went with 2 here. You can go higher than that, but that is plenty for our budget. And for our amulet, which is probably our most expensive slot, I got this one for really cheap though, so that was good. I don't know, it might have been just market value. Is spirit and minion skills. If you want higher values on this, it can become multiple divines. So I would just go with the values I have here. And the same thing here. You can go resistance, more stats, more life, and stuff like that. For our shield here is our oak sworn. It's very inexpensive. It doesn't cost anything almost. We just want spirit, chaos rest, and block is very strong in this this game. You can block all around you. You don't even need to stand in the direction of an enemy. And otherwise, I think that is all the stats we need. Oh yeah, we're gonna take a fast look here before we get kicked out of the game, because there's some reset going on. Maximum energy shield on our jewels, as an increased attack and cost speed for our minions, and increased damage also for our minions is fine. I have 4 jewels on me right now. I'm gonna respec this tree in a bit also, because I've not done that. You can also go accuracy rating for your minions, not super important. I think we already maxed through our passive tree anyway. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. We're gonna take a look at the rest after this reset. Okay, now we're at the skills section. We're gonna take a look first at a little trick to get a really cheap 4-link or 5-link, however you want to look at it. It's by, okay, I can't do this. It doesn't matter, I've already made mine, so I'm gonna take another one here. This one. Doesn't matter which skill. Skeleton Archer. As you can see, I've already made my Skeleton Archonist with 4 links here. How you do it is you can take any level of skill gems. You can make it with a lower one. I actually prefer to do it with a lower one because you can upgrade it later in levels. So then you apply this orb here, which is a lesser jeweler orb. They cost nothing. There are 28 of these for 1 exalted, so very inexpensive. Then you apply a Valor for this, and there's, I think it's 1 in 6 chance or something like that to upgrade it into a 4-link. See if we get lucky here. No, but it has a chance of actually upgrade it to have 1 extra socket. And that's the whole trick to it. So you just take a bunch of these, you take one more, and then you do this, and then you apply. Obviously, you might get lucky or you might get unlucky, but because it's cost almost nothing, it's a good way to get one extra link. I tried it. You don't need this, honestly, but I'm running with only a tier 17 skill gem, which is from tier 14, so you should have plenty of more power than I have right now to just simulate that bad luck or something like that. So the extras, the extra level from my fourth one here is just bumping it up to the uncut skill gems that are at that level. So that is tier 15 ones. So let's start from the top here. We have the skeleton warrior, which is only if you have it here. If you don't have, don't worry about this. It's not super needed, but it's just an extra defensive layer of, and also we're gonna use the pain offering if you wanna target them. It's kind of like a 50-50 to actually target the right minion. It doesn't matter which one you target, but just target whichever is in front. Last gasp, it's very good because they are gonna be in the front line and the mobs are gonna kill them, and yeah, they're just gonna stay alive a little bit longer, and it's gonna prolong the respawn timer. Maim on hit, they're just gonna create maim here. If you hover over it here, slow movement speed and reduce evasion rating. So that means your hits are gonna hit more often with Arsonist and Raging Spirit. Very good. Blind also here, less accuracy rating and stuff like that, so they're gonna debuff the enemy so they don't hit you. Elemental army, I just had an extra socket here, so I just put so they survive a little bit better with extra resistance. Raise shield, we don't use it. You can put it here if you want to. It gives you 100% block chance, but it's so cumbersome to go click, so I never use it and I just live with it. But if you want to be more tanky, you can just go around with it, held down the whole map if you want to. Infernal Hound is just going to take 20% of our damage taken to himself, which is very good. But it has an aura around it, which ignites also, which is even better. So we're going to make it extra tanky, so it doesn't die on us. Fire exposure, so it's going to, with the ignite aura around him, it's going to exposure it, and the fire resistance is going to be lowered for the enemies, and that means our skeleton arsonist is gonna do more damage, and our raging spirit, so really good there. Exposure, increased effect, so that leads back to fire exposure there. And wildfire, I just had one extra link, and I figured why not spread this ignites even further out. Flame wall is this one. It's gonna summon our raging spirit. And we use it with Fortress because in tight corridors and stuff like that, it's good to have this circle around. So you're gonna need to click it twice here to summon all 10 Raging Spirits. It used to be more, but GG nerfed that. More cast speed, it just means that we can cast it a little bit faster. We have an extra link, so it doesn't matter. I like to have Arcane Search here, and hopefully it works here after a few times. There we go. We get extra cast speed and mana regeneration, as this is our most used spell in our arsenal, so we're gonna get that. It's not needed, but it's just some extra quality of life. Flammability, I basically only use this on bosses and maybe some hard rares when they have really tanky mods, because it costs so much mana. You can see it 208, and how much do we have? 814 mana. Magnifying effect, more area of effect, which is good. Increase curse effect, yes please, and less cost. Obviously it's still 208. How much does it cost without this? It doesn't show. Obviously it's gonna be here then. Maybe here. Oh yeah, 350 almost. Holy, yeah, we definitely want this. Pain offering, you're just gonna click one of your minion, and then it's gonna die, and it's gonna give us a boatload of extra damage for our minions. You can see it here, grants minions 49 more damage. That's more damage, that's not increased damage. That means it's literally just multiplicative to your damage, which is much better than all the other places you get here. Increased damage, for example, is on the scepter here. It's not as good as more. Penetrates fire resistance because they are fire damage, and execute more damage with hits against the enemies that are on low life. So obviously that's, you're only gonna hit in the end. So it's about 20, I don't know, 15% more damage. Grim Feast is probably the thing that GG gonna nerf first. Everything else on this build is probably not gonna be touched by GG because they already done the sweep of all minion related things. But Grim Feast is a little bit overpowered right now. It would be stupid for 30 spirit to not use it. Even for double the spirit, I would still use it and just take one skeleton arsonist. And because it doubles our ES, so we're running around with on maps, and when the enemies die, you pick up these kind of glowing things, and it doubles your ES pool. So you just can pick them up continuously, and it recharges your ES, and if you have already full, it doubles up. Extremely good, only for 30 spirit. And then we dump all the rest of the spirit into, don't forget you need some for also 30 spirit for Raging Spirit to activate. And the rest goes to Skeleton Arsonist. I only run a level 17 gem here as stated. So if you only have a free link here, it doesn't matter because all my fourth link is doing is boosting it up to whatever the uncut skill gems actually are on tier 15. So we have martial tempo here, more attack speed, which is good. They're gonna throw those containers of, I don't know what it is, some flasks much faster. Scatter shot, which is additional projectiles, really good because they can overlap and shotgun. And fire infusion, more extra fire damage, less cold and lightning. We don't care about the downside because gain is one of those words also that we're looking out for, that is also multiplicative instead of increased. So when you see gain or deal or more, that is really good. Increase is not as good, it's still good, but it's much less worth. So those are my skills right now. You can see here I still have 9 spirit left, so I could have had less spirit on my gear and still made it work. Or I could have just dropped Skeleton Arsonist and then just had no spirit on my amulet or any of the other gear. So those are the skills. We're gonna take a look at the passive skill tree now. These are my allocations here, and it's only up to 85. As you can see here, I'm 88 now. I'm not played that much, but it's 3 left, which means I just took away 3 points from my skill tree. It doesn't matter, add some extra. So I am essentially just taking some increased damage here to start. I go up here, go under here to get some mana regen, and then I stack some extra maximum energy shield and extra mana shield. I'm gonna go through this fast because you can read the notes for yourself. Minion revive is really good because when they die, you're kind of exposed. You are gonna take the brunt of the damage then. More energy shield, intelligence. We need a lot of intelligence for our skill gem, so increase maximum energy shield. We don't really care about the mana reduction there. We're gonna take this whole thing for more revive and some more life there. Increase life, recovery, increase movement speed and attack speed, which is really good for us. Movement speed especially because they can get in there and shoot faster. Some accuracy, we need accuracy if we run with an attack build, which arsonists are. They are attacking, not casting, which means that they need accuracy then. Increase damage here, and then we just pick up some stats. These are not optimal stats, by the way. You just need to optimize in however you want them. Oh, I see that I forgot to do one here. Okay, I should probably sacrifice a point somewhere and put an extra point in here. I'm gonna take And we have pathing in here. Remember, there's 4 jewel socket on this one, which is really good. I'm probably gonna sacrifice this one and put it in here, yeah. This one is really good, regenerate 3% of life per second, which is excellent for a build because that's gonna keep most of our long-living minions alive. Physical damage is chaos damage for our both our arsonist and our raging spirit. I think both of them is gonna get that, and some chaos resistance. Then we go up here, we get some reduced reservation of our minions, which is good. That basically affects everything on our build here, so that means we can put in more arsonists there. Here I just went 1 extra point so I could get one jewel socket, increased damage, elemental resistance for, and basically these 2 are just for survival for our minions and some extra damage. Over here we have increased area effect. That wither thing doesn't do anything, but area of effect means there are bombs that the arsonists are throwing at the enemy. They can overlap, and that means they do double damage essentially. So I think these are totally worth it, but I'm not sure. I would cut this if you want to take something else. Reduce reservation we already talked about. Increase maximum energy shield, and see here we have all maximum resistance. That way we get all the resistance from. Intelligence, increase maximum energy shield. So really good things here, nothing special. And for our Ascendancy, we are infernalist. We don't need to be an infernalist, but there's no specific class for minions like in PoE 1, so whatever you want to play with, you can. I would suggest you go with Hellhound as a first Ascendancy. 20% of damage from hits and taken from a Hellbound life before you. Hellhound, sorry. And you can put those gems that we have in our setup that basically uses the aura that Hellhound had and do fire exposure and ignite the enemies, so it's very good. It doesn't do much damage, but it debuffs the enemy, and also that's 20% more life for you essentially. Then for the second one and second Ascendancy, you should take this one. It's just some extra, it's not very good honestly, but it is some extra defenses. The first 2 nodes, because we have equal cold damage and lightning damage on our build, is not doing anything really. Physical damage taken as chaos is good if you have maximum chaos resistance, otherwise it's pretty useless also. But we need it to path down here. So you can either take the maximum energy shield, this one, or I took the more spirit one, depending on how you feel. More defense or more offense. I took more, we have plenty of defenses, so I think it's a no-brainer to take the maximum spirit per 25 maximum life. That's why we stack life on our build. Okay, for totaling up all the cost we spent on this, so we had 106 exalted to spend. Let's go through it. Boots was the most expensive thing. It cost us 15 exalted. They're very good though, so you could go for a little more movement speed and sacrifice some of the other stats, I guess. Chest piece 10 exalted. Weapon also 10 exalted. We have our helmet also 10 exalted. We have our first ring, which is 5 exalted. The second ring cost 10 exalted. We have our belt, which is 5 exalted. We have our gloves that cost 5 exalted. We have our amulet that costs 5 exalted also, and we have a 5 exalted shield also. As you can see, most people like to place their items at 5 exalted or 10 exalted, equal numbers. Yeah, 5, 10 and 15, yeah. These items are worth nothing because you pick them up, and I've not rolled them with any specific mods, so whatever works for you. I rarely click the life flask or the mana flask. This one is just if I become poisoned, it takes care of that. But you can use whatever charm you want. They drop like candy in all the maps. So The extra cost on that, on top of that, we also spend on armor scraps to quality up the chest piece. In retrospect, I should have probably bought one with already qualityed and then spend those 10 extra exalted on just and better chest piece. They should have been probably more cost effective, but hindsight. I spent some on the rest leftover on this one, the armor scraps. Then I also spent some Arcanist Etchers, I don't know how you pronounce that, on the scepter here. That gives us, the quality gives us extra spirit, so 20% extra spirit to 120 spirit in total. Depending on how much you need, I have 9 over, so I could have put in some less. But that's 10 extra for the armor scraps, and Arcanist Etchers is 2 exalted because they were really cheap. Artificial orb is to, I spend 1 exalted for all the pieces. That means in total 1. You get a lot for an exalted, so that means you put 1 extra socket on the gear, you can have it. Some had it, some did not have it. And the runes, the iron runes, I also paid 1 exalted for all of them, actually less. You should have these already in your stash because yeah, they drop like candy also. Because I didn't need any resistance really, I put in the iron rune. I put in 1 here, desert rune, because I lacked like free fire res. Otherwise, did I spend anything? Yeah, I spent a little bit, which is 1 or 2 exalted on the Val orb and lesser jeweler orb for the 4-link trick. So in total, we're on the budget. We're pretty much on the budget exactly with all of this. We should be at 104, I believe, if my calculations are correct. And yeah, it was pretty good. I could have made some saves if I just made live searches instead of just buying it directly off the market as it was. So normally I put in let's search for something and then I leave it on and then get notified with someone post an item directly. Much better for cost and much better for sniping items real fast, and you get much better gear this way. But this is excellent gear, honestly. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's see how the showcase works. Okay, we're gonna do a map showcase here. We're gonna do a tier 15. Doesn't have any really bad mods. About extra damage is really bad, but armored also because we do attacks. But doesn't matter. It has a boss in it, so we'll see how much we cut in this. And let's go in, and we're gonna just move around. And they attack directly. Okay. An inside map. I hate these. So all you do is summon your raging spirit here with flame ball on your right click, and then you use all your other buttons down here, any of them. That was a rare apparently. And another one. To summon your pain offering, which gives you extra damage boost, and you pick up these little if I can see them before I pick them up.
I need more time.
I hate this on tight corner maps on minions. They despawn, which is probably going to get changed by GG. So if you get out of they get out of frame in a tight staircase or door opening, the mobs will just despawn from you. They will essentially die and then respawn where you are after the respawn timer, which is super annoying. I just remember I forgot to change my my skill points in the tree, but guess we're just gonna play like it is now. So this is the whole playstyle, and on hard enemies I use my middle mouse button for cursing them. It's gonna look like this. As you see, it takes a lot of mana, but it doesn't matter right now. And it's not needed, everything dies before you get the curse out anyway. Let's see if we can just find the boss here. Wow, there's not many enemies in this map. Just run, run, run. And as you can see here, I have over my cap of resistant. I don't know if you can hear it, but my son is taking a shower. He does not like it. There we go. And there's a rare here somewhere. Grim Feast is really good to keep your energy shield topped off and even overflowing into more. Where is this boss? It's always in the last corner. Go forward here. I'm just gonna run forward. This is a little bit dangerous. You should be funneling your minions in front of you. Put a pain offering. Gonna do that one. Doesn't matter. Okay, we don't want to outrun our minions here because then we have no defensive layer.
How useful.
Let's see, is it up here? Maybe, maybe. Yeah, this looks like a boss arena. So hopefully I do a little bit good here. So all you want to do, have your 10 minions up. We're gonna drop our here. We're gonna drop our pain offering. We're gonna drop our curse, and hopefully we can stay out of his way. And it killed most of our minions. Now we need to wait for our respawn timer, which is up here. 2, 1, and there we go. This is something they're probably gonna change also. Stay out of his way. Yeah. Doesn't matter. He's soon dead anyway. Okay. Oh. Wrong for me. Wrong for me. Oh.
I need more mana.
Okay, kill him. It's very safe playstyle, as you can see. You can just wait for your minions to do all the work here and face tank everything, and they will kill him sooner or later. There we go. He should be dead now. Yeah. You just focus on dodging everything and the minions will do the work for you. Easy peasy. And here we have the uncut skill gem. Now we can upgrade our build even more. So about 13% more damage for our build. So now we can portal out. Obviously in normal case I would finish by killing all the rares, but this was just a showcase and I'm not gonna do that because I don't need the path forward on the area I was in. So that was the showcase. There you have it. We have a fully functioning build from scratch. Hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment field below and I will try to answer them shortly, depending on how much it is. And normally the community is pretty good on answering things for you when it comes to these comment fields. Otherwise I will do it. Like and subscribe if you could, because it helps me make more content like this in the future. And it also gives me a good indicator of what the community wants from these videos. And please update me if I missed something or something is wrong in the video, and I will hopefully be able to pin a comment below. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.